I can't do this anymore. Those words stayed in my head. I said them 1 week ago, but today, I feel weak again. I'm sitting at a cafe, looking at my phone. There is a message from Michael. I promise this time will be different. Please, Emily, let me explain. I put the phone down. My hands are shaking. My heart is heavy. What if he really means it this time? I ask myself. The rain falls steadily outside the window. The sound is soft, almost calming. People walk by with umbrellas, their faces hidden under hoods and scarves. Inside the cafe, it is warm. The smell of coffee and fresh pastries fills the air. A couple sits at a table nearby, laughing softly. I wonder if they know how lucky they are. I stir my coffee, but I don't drink it. My mind is somewhere else. My heart remembers the Michael I met 2 years ago. I was at a friend's party when I met him. He was standing near the door, holding a drink and smiling. His smile was warm, and his eyes sparkled when he talked. Everyone seemed to like him. "Hi, I'm Michael," he said, walking over to me. His voice was smooth and confident. I liked that. "Hi, I'm Emily," I replied, feeling shy. We talked for hours that night. He made me laugh, and he listened to me. Really listened. I told him about my job as a graphic designer and my dream to travel the world. He told me about his love for photography and how he wanted to start his own business one day. "You're so interesting, Emily," he said. "I've never met anyone like you." No one had ever said that to me before. After that night, Michael called me every day. He sent sweet messages like, "Good morning, sunshine, and I hope you're smiling today." I felt special. I felt seen. But things changed. Slowly, at first. Michael started canceling plans. He would text me hours before a dinner date, "Sorry, something came up." At first, I believed him. But it happened again and again. He promised to do better. "I'm so sorry, Emily. I'll make it up to you." And he did, sometimes. He would surprise me with flowers or take me to my favorite restaurant. I forgave him because I wanted to believe in him. Then there were the lies. Small ones at first. He said he was working late, but I saw photos of him at a bar with friends. When I confronted him, he said it was just one drink. "Why are you so upset?" I started to feel confused. Was I asking too much? Was I being unreasonable? Now, sitting in this cafe, I think about all the promises he made. "I'll change, Emily. I swear." How many times have I heard those words? 5? 10? I don't even know anymore. I look at his message again. This time will be different. My hands tighten around my coffee cup. The warmth from the cup doesn't reach my heart. Michael is charming. He knows exactly what to say to make me stay. But charm is not the same as effort. Promises are not the same as actions. The rain outside begins to slow, but inside me, the storm is just starting. I remember the first big promise he broke. It was our 6-month anniversary. I had spent hours planning a special dinner at my apartment. I cooked his favorite meal, bought a bottle of his favorite wine, and even lit candles. I wanted everything to be perfect. Michael was supposed to arrive at 7 p.m. At 6:45, I received a text. "Hey, I'm running a little late. Be there soon." I smiled. No problem, I thought. I lit the candles and waited. At 8 p.m., I sent him a message. Are you okay? Are you coming? No reply. By 9:30 p.m., the candles had burned down and the food was cold. My excitement had turned into frustration. Finally, at 10 p.m., my phone buzzed. It was Michael. I'm so sorry, Emily. Work ran late. I'll make it up to you, I promise. When he arrived, he had flowers in his hands and an apology on his lips. I wanted to stay angry, but his charm melted my resolve. I'll do better, Emily. I promise, he said. And I believed him. It wasn't just one time. There was the concert I bought tickets for because Michael loved the band. He canceled an hour before, saying he was too tired. There was the weekend trip we planned for months. He forgot to book the hotel and said, "We'll go next time." But there was no next time. Every time, he apologized. Every time, he promised. And every time, I forgave him. Nobody's perfect, I told myself. But deep down, I started to feel small. One evening, after another canceled plan, I called my best friend, Sophia. Sophia, I don't know what to do, I said, my voice trembling. Let me guess, she replied. Michael canceled again. I nodded, even though she couldn't see me. Emily, you deserve someone who keeps their word, she said firmly. I know, I whispered, tears filling my eyes. But what if he really changes this time? Sophia sighed. Emily, listen to me. People don't change because we want them to. They change because they want to. Do you see him trying? Her words hit me like a punch. Did I see him trying? Michael said all the right things, but his actions told a different story. But I love him, I said, my voice breaking. I know you do, Sophia replied gently. But love is not enough, Emily. You need trust. You need effort. And right now, Michael is not giving you that. After that conversation, I couldn't stop thinking about what Sophia said. She was right. I needed more. But how could I let go of someone I loved so much? My heart argued with my mind. He's trying, my heart said. He apologized, and he wants to change. Words are not enough, my mind replied. If he really cared, he would show you with his actions. At night, I would lie awake, replaying our relationship in my head. I thought about the good times, our long walks in the park, the way he made me laugh, the way he held my hand when I was nervous. But I also thought about the bad times, his broken promises, my lonely nights, the way I felt invisible when he didn't show up. There were moments I tried to ignore, but they always came back to me. Like the time I found out Michael had planned a weekend trip with his friends without even telling me. It's just a guy thing, he said when I asked why he didn't mention it. But we talked about spending that weekend together, I replied, my voice shaking. Emily, don't make this a big deal, he said, rolling his eyes. You're always so dramatic. Those words cut deep. I wasn't being dramatic. I just wanted to feel like I mattered to him. But somehow, he always made me feel like I was wrong for asking for more. Michael's words were always sweet when he needed them to be. He'd look at me with those soft eyes and say, "You're the most important person in my life." But his actions never matched. I started noticing the lies, small ones at first. He'd say he was too tired to talk, but later, I'd find out he spent hours playing games with his friends. When I confronted him, he'd say things like, "You're imagining things, Emily. You're so insecure." Was I insecure? I started to question myself. Maybe I was expecting too much. Maybe I was the problem. But deep down, I knew the truth. One day, I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the person staring back at me. I looked tired. My eyes were sad. I thought about who I was before I met Michael, confident, happy, full of dreams. I used to laugh easily and wake up excited about life. But now, I felt small. I felt unsure. I spent so much time trying to make Michael happy that I forgot how to make myself happy. He would tell me, "I didn't ask you to do all this. You're doing it to yourself." And maybe that was true. But why did loving him feel so exhausting? Is this love? I asked myself. Or is this fear? Fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of letting go? The sound of a coffee cup clinking against a table pulls me back to the present. I'm still sitting in the cafe, staring at Michael's message on my phone. I promise this time will be different. My heart wants to believe him. My mind knows better. I take a deep breath and put my phone down. The rain outside has stopped, but the storm inside me rages on. The door of the cafe opens with a soft chime. I glance up, not expecting to see him, but there he is. Michael. He spots me immediately and walks over, a nervous smile on his face. My heart races. I wasn't ready for this. Emily, he says, sitting down across from me without asking. His voice is soft, almost pleading. I had to see you. I sit still, gripping my coffee cup tightly. Why is he here? I think. I don't know if I feel anger, sadness, or relief. Maybe all three. I read your message, I say finally, my voice steady but quiet. Michael nods. I know I've said it before, but this time is different, Emily. I promise. His words hang in the air. I've heard them so many times, they've lost all meaning. You've promised before, Michael, I reply. You've said it so many times. What makes this time different? He leans forward, his hands on the table. His eyes are wide, desperate. Because I mean it, he says. I know I've messed up, but I love you, Emily. You mean everything to me. I want to believe him. I really do. But my mind takes me back to all the broken promises, the missed dinners, the empty words, the excuses. If I mean everything to you, I say slowly, then why didn't you act like it before? Michael looks down at his hands. He doesn't have an answer. For a moment, there's silence between us. The cafe is filled with the hum of voices and the sound of spoons clinking against coffee cups. But between Michael and me, it's quiet. Heavy. Why don't you believe me anymore? He asks, his voice breaking. I take a deep breath. This is my moment. Because I believed you too many times before, Michael, I say. My voice is calm, but firm. I wanted so badly to believe in you that I stopped believing in myself. His eyes meet mine, and I see pain there. But I can't stop now. I gave you chances, I continue. So many chances. But love is not just words. It's actions. And your actions always said something else. Michael shakes his head. I can change, Emily. I will change. Just give me one more chance. I look at him, and for a moment, I see the Michael I fell in love with, the charm, the warmth, the promise of something better. But that's all it ever was, a promise. Michael, I say softly, I can't keep waiting for you to become the person you say you'll be. I need to move on. I need to choose myself this time. His face falls. Emily, please, he whispers. Tears well up in my eyes, but I blink them away. This is hard, but it's necessary. I love you, I admit. But I can't stay in a relationship that hurts me more than it heals me. Michael reaches for my hand, but I pull away gently. I hope you find the strength to change, Michael. But you need to do it for yourself, not for me. He looks like he wants to say something, but no words come out. For the first time, I see him as he is, someone who isn't ready to give what I need. I stand up, leaving my untouched coffee on the table. My legs feel heavy, but my heart feels lighter. Goodbye, Michael, I say. He doesn't try to stop me. As I walk out of the cafe, the sun breaks through the clouds. The rain has stopped, and for the first time in a long time, I feel free. The cool air hits my face as I step out of the cafe. My heart is heavy, but there's something else now, something quieter, lighter. The decision is made. Michael is part of my past, and I'm walking toward my future. The streets are still wet from the rain, and the sunlight reflects on the puddles. I watch people rushing by, umbrellas in hand, their voices blending into the city's hum. Life goes on, I realize. And so will I. As I walk, a wave of emotions crashes over me. Sadness lingers, like an old friend I can't quite let go of. I loved Michael deeply, and saying goodbye hurts more than I expected. But underneath the sadness, I feel relief. A strange, unexpected peace. For the first time in months, maybe even years, I feel like I've made the right choice for myself. It wasn't easy, I think, wiping a stray tear from my cheek. But I did it. I pass by a small bakery and catch the smell of fresh bread. It reminds me of mornings I spent with Michael, sharing coffee and quiet laughter. The memories are sweet, but they're not enough to make me regret my decision. I loved him, but I love myself too, I remind myself. And I deserve more than promises. I stop at a bench in the park and sit down. The air feels fresher after the rain, and the sun peeks through the clouds, warming my skin. Looking back, I realize that my time with Michael wasn't all bad. He taught me how to love, but he also taught me how I don't want to be loved. Love is about effort, not excuses, I think. It's about showing up, not just saying the right words. I remember the Emily I used to be, the girl with big dreams and a confident smile. Somewhere along the way, I lost her, but now I feel like I'm finding her again. This is a new beginning, I whisper to myself. As I sit on the bench, I start to think about all the things I've put on hold for Michael. My dream of traveling, my career goals, even little things like learning a new hobby. It's my time now, I realize. A small smile forms on my lips. The sadness is still there, but it's no longer in control. In its place, I feel something else, hope. After a few minutes, I stand up and start walking again. My steps feel lighter now, like each one is carrying me closer to the life I want. The rain has stopped, and the sky is clear. The world feels open, full of possibilities. I don't know what the future holds, but for the first time in a long time, I'm excited to find out. This is just the beginning, I think. And with that, I keep walking, toward myself, toward my dreams, toward my new life. I think about everything that happened with Michael. I wanted so badly to believe in him, in us. I gave so much of myself, too much. But in the end, his promises weren't enough. Why did I stay so long? I wonder. But I know the answer. I was afraid. Afraid of being alone, afraid of starting over. But now I see things differently. I wasn't alone, I had myself all along. I just needed to remember my worth. Sitting here, I realize how much I've learned. Love isn't just about saying, I love you. It's about actions, about showing up, about keeping promises. Michael's words were beautiful, but his actions didn't match. And I deserve more than that. I deserve love that is steady, real, and kind. This isn't just about Michael, it's about me. I stayed because I thought I could fix things. I thought if I just tried harder, he would change. But people don't change because we want them to. They change because they want to. I start to think about what I want for my future. What do I need to feel happy? What kind of love do I deserve? How can I take better care of myself? These aren't easy questions, but I know the answers will guide me. As I sit here, I think about others who might feel the way I felt. Maybe you're one of them. Have you ever loved someone who didn't give you the love you deserved? Have you ever been afraid to let go, even when you knew it was the right thing to do? I want you to know that it's okay to feel scared. It's okay to feel sad. But it's also okay to choose yourself. Choosing yourself doesn't mean you're selfish. It means you're strong. I stand up from the bench and start walking again. Each step feels lighter, as if I'm leaving pieces of the past behind me. I know this isn't the end of my journey, it's the beginning. I don't know exactly where I'm going, but I'm excited to find out. I choose myself, I whisper, smiling. And I mean it. Comprehension questions. 1. What did Michael promise to Emily? 2. Why did Emily leave him? Interactive quiz. What does I choose myself mean? A. I decide to be with him. B. I decide to put myself first. C. I choose a new boyfriend. Creative challenge. Write in the comments. 1. What would you do if you were Emily? 2. Write a sentence with the word promise. You are stronger than you think. Keep learning and growing. Subscribe for more stories that teach English and inspire you.